Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to look at the Galaxy Z Flip 3 versus the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and these both are very different form factors, so it'll be fun to see how the comparison comes out. Before we get into the actual video, do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and don't forget to like the video. First, talking about the design. The design is very different with respect to both these phones, but the iPhone is a conventional candy bar shaped design, while the Fold, on the other hand, is a folding phone which we had before, but now is the entire screen folding, which we have seen in the earlier generations of the Flip and the Fold series. But this one is really special because it packs a lot of good things, which we'll see in the latter part of the video. So the design is pretty clear. If you want a good form factor, say a folding one which you do not require too much space, then the Galaxy Flip is the way to go. But on the other hand, you do compromise on a little bit of specifications. We will speak about them as well. The iPhone has practically everything which is cutting edge, at least till now. The iPhone 13 series has just been announced, so this is now the earlier generation. But let's move on to the screens and we'll see the differences starting there. So the iPhone is a 60 Hz Super Retina XDR OLED display at 6.7 inches with a good 1284 into 2778 pixels, while the Flip is a folding dynamic AMOLED display at 120 Hz, so higher refresh rate there. 6.7 inch, so almost the same size, but looks thinner. On the outside, you do have a 2-inch AMOLED for a quick view. We'll speak about that as well in the latter part of the video. And it is a 1080p screen, which is maybe a problem for some pixel peepers. And as you can see in this photograph, they both look really good. The viewing angles are extremely good with both these devices, so no complaints there. I do feel that the iPhone is a little brighter with respect to its full brightness compared to the Galaxy Flip. I found this problem in the Fold as well. They do not get too bright. The iPhone just is extremely bright when it comes to full brightness. So let me quickly show you. And as you can see, the iPhone is on full as well as the Flip, but the iPhone is brighter. Now this might be just me or the units I have, but we are comparing a folding screen, which is basically an experimental device, compared to a mainline flagship. So I do see differences there. Also, it does cost pretty similar to what we have with the iPhone, and if you are a normal purchaser, you would want the best in this folding smartphone as well. But if you are an early adopter, then this phone is ready and it is absolutely amazing with what it can offer. Now, going a little deeper, I think we should compare the speakers, which will give us a good idea of how the phones are and if Samsung has cut any corners with respect to the speakers. So I will keep quiet so that you can hear the sound from both the devices. And today we're going to compare the OnePlus 8 Pro and the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, I ran a poll on YouTube on my channel, and this was the most Hey guys, welcome to the channel. And today we're going to compare the OnePlus 8 Pro and the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, I ran a poll on YouTube on my channel, and this was the most requested video. So let's get into it. Requested video. So let's get into it and see which one does better. So the OnePlus 8 Pro has, and see which one does better. So the OnePlus 8 Pro has a more curved I think both the phones did really well. So they both have dual firing speakers, one in the earpiece and one bottom firing. The Flip also uses the same speaker placement, and they both sound pretty good. I think there was not much difference. The Fold, on the other hand, is slightly louder than the iPhone when I did the comparison. So again, links in the description if you want to go and check that out. Those are real tablet speakers. These are more of proper smartphone speakers, so I don't see much differences there. Next, let's look at something interesting, which are the cameras. And this is going to be an easy one because the iPhone takes the cake here. The specifications are for the flip are 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It does video at 4K 60. On the front, it has a 10 megapixel wide camera, which again does video at 4K 30. The iPhone, on the other hand, has three sensors: 12 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel telephoto, and 12 megapixel ultra wide. The wide has a sensor shift OIS as well. It does 4K 60. On the front, it has a 12 megapixel wide, which again does 4K 60. So those were the specifications. Now let's see what the cameras have to offer. The flip, even though it is a dual camera setup, it zooms to a maximum of 10x, while the iPhone, including a telephoto, zooms to a maximum of 12x. So that's your decision to make there. With respect to the modes, Samsung has tons of modes, including single take, which I really like. The iPhone, on the other hand, has a very conventional setup, but it is one of the best point and shoot cameras in the markets right now, even though the iPhone 13 series has come out with the different modes like cinematic, etc. But the iPhone 12 Pro Max still remains one of the best cameras out there. Next, we're going to talk about the performance, and all the apps in the background have been cleared, so you can see the differences in the app opening speed as well while I throw the specifications at you. The iPhone is a 6 GB of RAM coupled with the Apple A14 Bionic. It has 128 GB of storage going up to 512 GB. The Flip, on the other hand, is an 8 GB of RAM with a Snapdragon 888 processor. So those are the differences with respect to how both these devices are and their speed. They both are very capable devices. The Snapdragon 888 as well as the A14 Bionic are extremely capable. You can throw heavy games at it, even do video rendering, and they both should be fine. If you can see the app opening speed of both the devices, it is pretty similar. So great work done by Samsung there with One UI as well. Talking about One UI, the Flip comes with Android 12, and on top of that you have One UI 3.1, which is downloadable, and the iPhone comes with iOS 15 now, which has been announced. So those are the software differences. So the Flip also has the outer screen, which is customizable, and that's something which some people might actually prefer. So you don't need to open the phone to answer calls or look at the time or texts and other things, or change your music, for example. So all these features are there in the Flip. Before we end the video, there is one last thing which is left, which is the battery life, and this is something which is really important with respect to the Flip, because we are looking at a 3300 mAh battery, which is a very small battery compared to this day and age and the specifications. The phone has Snapdragon 888 with 120 Hz refresh rate. We look at almost a 5000 mAh battery, and that should last you a day. So 3300 is slightly lesser in my opinion. The iPhone, on the other hand, is a 3687 mAh battery. They both support fast charging. The Flip also has reverse wireless charging, which the iPhone doesn't. So that's the difference there. I would say the Flip lasts maybe half a day, but you do have to have 2 charge cycles if you use the 120 Hz refresh rate. And with that, we are at the end of the video. These are very different form factors. It really comes down to a personal preference. Samsung has done really well with this experimental phone, and I have no qualms in recommending this. So do let me know down in the comment section if you have any queries. And as usual, thanks for watching.